Okay, are we live? I think we are, maybe. Let's see if we're all good. There we go. Yay, we're live. It feels like it's been forever since I've been live. Hopefully some of you will jump on. If not, I will be sending this out. I'll be downloading the video and sending it out in my email list. Also, if you're in my Facebook group, the Plant-Based Performance Endurance Athletes group, you will also be able to watch this on replay. So if you are here live, let me know. Comment below live if you are watching this on replay. Let us know below if you're watching this on replay. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kayla Slater. I'm a registered plant-based dietitian, nutrition, and run coach. And I go by Coach Kayla. So most of you may probably know me as Coach Kayla. And today I wanted to go live as part of a series I'm doing every Wednesday at 8 p.m. I am running a little bit late. I apologize. I went and gave blood this evening and had to get to dinner and everything. Michael's here. Hi, Michael. If you don't know Michael, he's my other half, so he's here supporting me. Thank you for being here, babe. And so as I mentioned, yes, I'll be doing these lives every Wednesday throughout March for National Nutrition Month. National Nutrition Month is every March, and it's really a month that really highlights, or that we want to highlight how important nutrition is and why it's such a big part of all of our lives and important piece of our health as well. So I wanted to do something special for that. Also, you guys may have heard that I will be launching my Run on Plants Academy course. So basically, these lives are going to be giving you guys a little bit of insight and view into what I talk about in the Run on Plants Academy. Because you might have no idea what that is, what I am giving, what you're going to learn, or any of that. So today we're basically start from the beginning, from our phase 1, which will be covered in one of our first modules. And I have a whiteboard behind me, thanks to my boyfriend Michael for letting me borrow his whiteboard. So I want to lay out the full what our full process looks like. Basically, it's a pyramid, and we have to start at the bottom, and then we're going to layer on top. So I'm starting at the bottom, and then we're going to go from phase 1 to our last phase. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like, and then today what we're also going to get into is we're going to get into our first foundation, or our first phase, which is on goal setting, mindset, and creating a nutrition run plan. So these are basically, I call these our pre-foundation. So let me show you guys what this looks like. So let me see here. Want to make sure I get this right, even though this is something that I created. So this is something I created. This is never, not something that I have seen before. It is basically just something I came up with to help my clients, to help you guys. So there's 4, so I've split it up into 4 phases. So down here we have I'm terrible at writing here, and to think I was going to be a teacher. Okay. And I probably did I spell it right? I think I did. Okay. So our bottom phase is our pre-foundation phase. You may also call this phase 1, if you wanted to, right? This is our pre-foundation. So we have to set our pre-foundations. And so, as I said, what we do in this stage, or this phase, is goal setting. Oops, I'm actually going to write it over here. Can you guys see this very well? Not very well. Okay, let me move my camera. Kind of almost needs to be a little bit higher, doesn't it? Okay. Kind of. Just not the best, but okay. We'll go with it. All right. So goal setting. So we're going to talk about today a little bit about goal setting, because first we have to set goals, right? To have any plan or to achieve anything we want to achieve, we have to create a plan. So it really starts with goals, setting goals, to then create that plan to how we're going to get to reach that goal. So first we're going to start with goal setting. Then we want to also be aware of what type of mindset we want to start achieving or start to thinking about. And then next is starting to create that plan. And how are we going to do that? What is that nutrition and run plan going to look like? How are we going to do that? So let's break this down and talk about these three things, or what we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get to the rest of our phases. But let me I'm going to actually give you a sneak peek. I'm going to give you guys the rest of our phases here, so you have an idea of what is to come. So this is what we're focusing on today, but I just want you guys to have an idea. This is our foundation phase. So second is our foundation phase. This is going to be our build or peak phase. And then at the top is our recovery phase. So that's basically post-race, right? I could also call this taper / recovery. And then this is the phase this is the steps that recycles. So let's go back here and talk about our pre-foundation phase. Okay, good. So we can see this. Awesome. So we're going to talk about goal setting. So when it comes to goal setting, there's different goals that we want to set. First, we want to start with a yearly goal, or actually, I'll take that back. So 90-day goal, 60-day goal, 90-day goal, 60-day goal, and then 30-day goals, and then we may even want to break it up into shorter goals. So something I work more with clients on when I have one-on-one clients, I'm gonna slouch a little bit because you can see the board and me. Bend my knees a little bit. I'm not used to that because I'm actually not very tall. So we want to lay out our goals that way, and we want to break it down. So when I work with clients one-on-one, we break them into short-term goals. So we take that bigger goal, we break it down into those shorter goals. It could also depend on, say you're training for a race. So this is more specific. I incorporate this for nutrition, but for sports nutrition, but this is really kind of, geared towards also running, right, as well, on our goals. So we can also use a race as a goal, and then we can work from there, creating our shorter term goals. So basically we have a long-term goals, and then we have our short-term goals. And our long-term goals are a long vision of what we want to accomplish. The shorter-term goals are things that we can accomplish in the shorter term. So that's basically exactly what they say. But that helps us when we set those goals. That's going to help us create the plan of how we're going to get there. Another thing with goals that I address in our module as well is SMART goals. And this is something I talk a lot about all of my one-on-one clients, because we want to also make sure these goals are SMART goals, especially our, long and short-term goals should be SMART goals. But we really want to make sure we are creating SMART goals, which what that means is we want to create goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and time-bound. So this is very important that we make sure that our goals are SMART goals. This is going to help us to achieve those goals. So that's really it for goal setting. So basically it's just we've got to set goals. When we want, and then we can start creating that plan. But before I get into the plan, I want to talk about mindset. So we talked about goal setting. Let's talk a little bit about mindset. So mindset, I put it in the pre-foundation phase, which mindset is going to come into play in probably all of these phases. But I put it in the pre-foundation phase because I wanted you guys to think about, what do I need to do to start preparing my mind for the goal that I want to achieve. And so the things we want to think about is, we want to think about, or when it comes to mindset, what we want to work on is, we want to develop a growth mindset. We want to develop a mindset that progress is more important than perfection. And this is so important for when we start to work on our running goals and our nutrition goals, because it's going to get challenging, and we're going to feel like we're not doing good enough, or we're going to compare ourselves to others, or we're going to get down on ourselves. But if we're doing something, if we have a goal and we're going for something, that is something to be proud of. And we want to really remember that as we're going through each of these phases, and as we're learning about nutrition, as we're learning about our bodies and what we're capable of in our training, we want to make sure that we develop a good mindset. And so these are things we need to start thinking about before we even start training, before we even start training for a race, before we really start paying attention to our nutrition and fueling our bodies. And so then, I also wanted to mention on mindset that we want to get rid of that all or nothing mindset. I'd say probably most of the clients I've worked with have this all or nothing mindset. And what I mean by that is that either I'm all in nutrition or I'm all out. Either I'm all in my training or I'm completely out. And it may not necessarily look like that, right? There are gonna be some times that we're not able to give 100%, but we can give 20%, right? And that sometimes is okay. It's better than 0%. Also, we want to get out of that mindset, because it's going to really affect our training is going to be affected by our nutrition. And if we have an all or nothing mindset when it comes to food, it's going to be really hard to fuel our bodies properly. Also, we want to think about fueling like an athlete. And a lot of my clients are everyday runners. We're just doing this because we enjoy the sport. We love to run and want to be out there, but you may not think of yourself as an athlete. But I really encourage all of you to start thinking about eating like an athlete, because if we think of that mindset of eating like an athlete, then we're able to better fuel our bodies properly. So that's really all I have for mindset. In the course, I did put a video from a sports psychologist, a really great video that I found on mindset for athletes. And so I put that in the course because I think it's really powerful. Can be really helpful before starting on this journey, wherever you are in this journey. And then, so that's mindset. Okay, turn this a little bit so you guys see it better. Our last part of our pre-foundation phase is to create our plan. So next we need to create our nutrition and run plan. So how are we going to do that, right? Then we have to think, okay, here's my goal. I have this race that I'm going to run. Say that I'm going to run, my goal is to run a marathon, right? If our goal is to run a marathon, we have to figure out, well, how are we going to do that? First, we're going to have to find a coach to get a marathon training plan. And so there are free options online for training plans. For many beginners, this is where a lot of people start, because it is hard in the beginning to feel like if a coach is, a good investment at that time, if you're not sure how much effort you're going to really put into it. So when I started marathon training and ran my first marathon, I just used a free training plan. I'll be transparent. I did not have a running coach. As I involved more and had bigger goals, so then when I wanted to run for um, for Boston, when I wanted to run to Boston, that's when I actually got a running coach. And that's just how my journey has gone, or my experience has gone. Um, but everyone's journey looks different, right? And then as for nutrition I think is a little harder to find like free plans out there, and that's why, especially that are plant based, there is a lot of sports dietitians that can really help with nutrition and fueling your body and what that looks like properly. I do follow some really great running dietitians that share a lot of things on their pages, resources, work with people as well. But my focus is really plant based nutrition. That is what I'm really focused on, or I should say, plant based sports nutrition is really our focus. So in this course, it's very much focused in plant-based sports nutrition. Um, and so that is really where our focus is. That's what I'm really teaching you guys really about. I'm just kind of using these kind of running terms in a way you could say, to do this, but really it is more plant-based sports nutrition focused. So you're going to learn a lot about plant-based sports nutrition. So we're going to learn about plant-based nutrition a little bit, not too much. I probably should have even added actually the pre-foundation now that I'm talking through this for the first time. I feel that I probably should have put even in the pre-foundation to have some plant-based um, eating knowledge. Kind of have like that pre-foundation even going into this. Like you are going to learn a lot, but it is more focused on the sports nutrition side of it, not as much the basic plant-based nutrition. So even going into this is probably a really good idea to have some knowledge. But uh, this you'll still learn a lot. So even if you are a beginner to plant-based nutrition, but I want people to know, even if they've been plant-based for a while and just want to learn more about plant-based nutrition specifically for running or sport, this is definitely the course for you. So don't feel like, wait, how does any of this have anything to do with plant-based sports nutrition? It is. It really is. So that's where we get into more of these, the second and third phase. That's where I dive deeper into plant-based sports nutrition. So yeah, that's really it. And going back to our training plans. So I have started creating meal plans, recipes. I do some online coaching as well. I've worked with people one on one. And now I'm going to be offering this course, and possibly we'll be offering some, group coaching calls if that's something that people are interested in, to just give further help. So it's, really right now I'm just kind of seeing what you guys want, what is helpful for you, what do you want to learn. So I love your feedback. I love to hear from you guys on what you think about this method so far. I'm calling this the Run on Plants method, is what we're calling this. So this is our Run on Plants method right now. So this is what our Run on Plants method is, and as I said, we're going to be going through each of these. So next Wednesday we'll be talking about our foundation phase. 3 is phase, or the following week we'll talk about our build peak phase, and then our last phase is going to be our taper recovery phase that we're going to talk about. So we've got 4 weeks and we've got a lot of topics to cover, and it's probably a really big quick summary of basically what else, like what is in my course. But there is definitely a ton more value in that course, but I wanted to give you guys a quick snapshot of what that information covers, what it's going to look like. So stay tuned for next week. I hope you guys are here. If you can make it live, that would be awesome. so we can interact with you. I can answer any questions you guys have, that sort of thing, because our foundation is really the main key. That probably, I want to say that almost has like 7 or 8 modules. Like there's a lot of information in that, and it's basically all on sports nutrition and plant-based nutrition. So that is really, really, really the key. Is our foundation piece. So, with training plans, with run coaching plans, with um, nutrition plans, that is all what I can help with as well. So I wanted you guys to know that as well. But there are places that could be free as well to find that stuff. But I don't see a lot of resources that have nutrition specific running plans for those that are plant based. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to help. So I hope this is helpful. If you guys have any questions, as I said, feel free to let me know. Reach out to me, comment below, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye.